Hello! We are here. We have made it. We are live. We are excited. I am ready. I am comfortable. I've got pajama pants on and a blanket. Oh, it's great. It's a great night, everyone. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for coming here, hanging out, listening or watching, whatever you're choosing to do. Hi. I am your Dungeon Master. My name is Luke. I play everyone here, except for these lovely people who will now introduce themselves, starting with Luke over here.
Oh, hey, I'm the other Luke from Canada, and I play Tyler Trueshot, who's a braggadocious ranger man. And he, did we say what the prompt was?
Yeah, would your character be a cat or, would Tyler Trueshot be a cat or a dog if they were reincarnated?
Yeah, okay. Well, he'd be a dog. He'd be a, I'm just like a super, it was said before we went live, Golden Retriever was suggested, which is pretty apt. I just feel like I need something with a little more, like equally up in your face, but just a bit more bite. I don't know
Husky.
what that would be. What was that? Husky?
Oh,
yeah,
husky.
he's very husky.
In your face,
Yeah.
but all attitude about it.
Yeah, that's Tyler.
But I
Husky
also
man.
feel like a little bit of a corgi because of all the bread, you know, like he would just become a loaf of bread in dog form because you consume so much bread.
So
I can
perhaps
see-
a husky.
Husky. I like that.
Thank
Just
you.
a barrel of a husky.
Oh, fantastic.
And that's me.
Next up, we have Deanna.
Hello, I'm Deanna. I play our chaotic gremlin of a rogue, a wood elf rogue, Isira is, as she's known. And if she were reincarnated, I'm pretty sure she would be. I think she would be a cat. I was pretty borderline on this, but I think at the end of the day, she would be a cat.
Nice. I like it.
That feels right.
It does. Kind of like a sleek black cat, or
I think you know what, black cat, I think, yes, like she seems like she might be a little like stabby at first, but she's also just a complete doofus.
perfect.
But also just a little spiteful, you know, like just kind of spitefully not where they're supposed to be.
Yeah,
At
when
any
she
given
needs
time.
when she needs to, like super like sneaky and just like come at you when you least expect it.
Yeah.
Nice. Hello, Misty Mountain Memes. Welcome. Always happy to have you here. Next up, we have my lovely wife, Anna.
Hello, I'm Anna. I play Lyra, who is a tiefling bard. And if Lyra she would be a cat. Like, there's just no question. She would absolutely be a cat. And she would probably be the cat that has like two people that she tolerates, and then everybody else she hisses at.
Yeah, that makes sense. Wonderful. Next, we have Roxanne.
Hello, I'm Roxanne. I play Storm, who is the centaur fighter / wild magic sorcerer / has a pack as a warlock with Lord Quackers. And I think Storm would be a dog. And I'm thinking like a Doberman situation. Like they look scary, like scary dog privilege, but big snuggle bug.
I was going to say German Shepherd, but also Doberman.
I feel like they give off the similar vibe. I feel like Doberman just has a little bit more of the intimidation factor.
Yeah, I can see it. For sure. Wonderful. Last and certainly not least, AJ.
Hi, I'm AJ. I play Dolf Fitzgerald, your chill halfling cleric warlock. You know what? I think Dolf would be a sheepdog, but raised by cats. So like super chill, thinks he can climb up on things, can't do it, but you know, like very, I'm trying to think of it, like just very chill, because I was trying to think, I was like, what's a very chill dog, but also like cats are very chill, so it was very hard to choose between the two, because I was like, cat, probably dog, probably just a chill dog.
Yeah. I think that makes sense.
I have a comment on this topic that I considered during the thing. Are you guys familiar with the musical Cats?
Oh God.
Unfortunately, yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so because if we were talking Cats from Cats, Tyler's got some hardcore Rum Tum Tugger energy.
Oh no.
Am I right?
Oh no.
Let's start the session.
Yeah, all right. Thanks for joining us, everyone. Today. That's the end of session. We'll see y'all next time.
I know.
I can do the song if you guys want me to do the song.
No, please.
You know, we really should start playing some Dungeons and Dragons.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair.
Oh, yes. Well, thank you, everyone who's come and joined us today. Thank you, chat. And Misty Mountain Memes, always good vibes. Happy to have you here as always. For the chat, if you don't follow Misty Mountain Memes on Instagram, they are our meme page. We have no idea who runs it. They are Enigma. They have been toying with us. It's been great.
Yeah,
so
they posted an assumption thing. Didn't post my assumption. I'm on to you. I'm on to you. It's because it's a hint. It's because I'm on to them.
Because you
What
were
was
correct.
your assumption?
My assumption was that is like, we actually know exactly who they are. We just haven't been confirmed who they are yet, and they have interacted with us on their like a normal page before in some way.
Like their normal account
Like their normal
follows
account
us if something.
It follows us in
Well, that would
some
make
way
sense.
and has interacted with us in some way, and we've interacted back or something like that.
I have found one person who I didn't realize I was mutuals with on TikTok. And I was curious as to why I was mutuals with them, because I have like 3 videos. And they're like kind of popular. They follow all of us. So they could either be the meme person or like surprise guest situation. Those are my theories on this person.
yeah.
Before we get started, as a reminder for the chat, I roll on a 10,000 wild surge table. So I don't roll that. So if I have to surge, I will tell the chat, and the first number that shows up is the one that I rolled. Just so everybody remembers when or if it happens.
Thank you for reminding me to pull that up.
Yes, and I've got it pulled up on mine too. I'm so scared.
we haven't actually like rolled for much in the past.
Yeah, we haven't
couple
casted
sessions.
magic much.
I
Yeah,
know, last session was
couple
just
sessions.
very little magic, so. But also, Elizabeth, thank you for joining. So glad that you decided to join us today. We'll do our best to be an example of how D&D is played. No guarantees, because D&D is so strange. It's fantastic. I hope you enjoy your time while you're watching. Cool. And with that, let's play some D&D. Let's put on our fantasy hats and get started. Wonderful. So, as a recap, last session was a lot of just talking. Not a lot of action happened, but a lot was understood about the events that have happened previously. Our party was able to talk with Jobrieth, who is making a recovery, about what happened to him, what he encountered, all those sort of things, and answer a few other questions. Additionally, he is told them that he will provide them with magical items, weapons, as payment, that he just has to work with the blacksmith in town. Joffrey Blacksmith is his name. Very creative name I came up with. And they will make weapons, but they're in the works. So, currently, we find our heroes in the city of Nostrhaver, where they've have their temple, where they've been pretty much this whole time. And it's only been a couple days since we saw them last. But actually, sorry, before that, this is the same night after talking with Jobriath, after you all went to a library. Oh, that's right. Y'all went to a library and to some taverns as well to look for information. And Lyra met an attractive librarian named Luca. So that did happen.
Yeah.
Let's not forget that.
Who does
Yes,
look
so-
suspiciously like our DM.
I know, it's very surprisingly like myself. It's very odd.
Yeah, subplot is that the bard of this campaign has never been kissed or really touched by anyone ever.
Oh, it's fantastic.
Had a very visceral reaction from Quackers.
Yes, our
last time
very
Quackers-
attractive god.
Oh my gosh, yeah, very attractive. So that all happened, and so it is the same night after those events take place, and everyone's gone to bed except Iz. Iz, what are you doing?
So after a long day at the library, as everyone bunkers down for the night, is gonna initially take her normal post under the statue of Lord Quackers, and then when she thinks no one's looking, she's going to cast invisibility on herself and try and sneak out the back door.
Okay, go ahead and give me a stealth check.
25.
25, cool. So yeah, you definitely sneak out the back door. Like a mouse walks by, doesn't even see you, nothing. You get out the back door very easily, close it quietly behind you. No one knows you left. Then you hear a voice in your head that says, "Dearest Iz, why are you sneaking out this late?"
I'll respond back in my head. Some quick business. I'll be back soon.
Very well. Be very careful. I hope you safe return. Rest tonight. You've done much.
Yes, I will rest. You know me.
Good. Have a good night, Iz. As the voice of Lord Quackers recedes from your head.
I'm gonna salute the knight invisibly.
Perfect. Go ahead.
And then I'm going to check some notes that I had written down about the city and head to one of two locations.
Perfect. Here, we'll go ahead.
Probably softly humming my own theme song, to be honest.
This is just Kronk and Emperor's New Groove just humming their own theme song as they sneak out. Cool. Well, your first stop is called the Bumblebee Orphanage. You took note of it as you've been going about the town. One of your first stops of the night. All is quiet. There seems to be one lamp on in one of the windows as you make your way closer. But aside from that, all of the windows are dark. It seems to be a fairly large building, about 2 stories. Looks to be about maybe 14 different rooms, or give or take. So a good sized building.
Okay. I'm gonna look for like a mail slot or like the equivalent of a mailbox.
You find what appears to be like a donations box just on the front door. It's clearly labeled donations.
Okay. And then I'm gonna like kind of look around, make sure there's no one in the street, stop humming my theme song. Before inching the donation box open. And if no one notices.
Yeah, it's very quiet. You are a shadow to anyone who might be looking outside their window.
I'm going to slip a small parcel inside.
Perfect. It stops with a solid. Oh, here, this will be better. And that's it.
Okay. At that thunk, she's gonna look around quickly again, make sure no one heard.
No one seemed to hear. No.
She's gonna blow a little kiss on the donation box and skip off to the next one.
Wonderful. Go ahead and give me another stealth check.
That was a natural 20 for a total of 30.
Whew, all right. Cool. So, yeah, you meld through buildings, seemingly. You walk past someone in an alleyway. It's only 5 feet wide, and they pass by you just by mere inches and don't see you. Yes.
Squish myself against the wall.
Yes, your second stop is another orphanage. This one, there doesn't seem to be a clear name on it. It just says, it doesn't really have anything, no labels, no signs. It's much more run down. But you took note of it because you saw just what appeared to be a elderly woman taking care of multiple children out of this same place. Of various ages, clearly not her own, as they were a bunch of different races and ages. So, while it's not clearly an orphanage, you fully believe that it is one.
Okay. Same thing. I'm gonna look for some sort of secure, like, mailbox or slot of sorts.
You don't really notice anyone on this one. This building is clearly much more run down than the Bumblebee Orphanage. This one's only about a story tall, maybe has 6 rooms in it, that you would guess by its size. And it has no mail slot, no donation box, anything like that.
Okay. I'm going to try to see if the door is open.
The door is locked when you try it. It is just jiggles, but you feel resistance.
Is there a window nearby?
As you go around the building, you notice that there is a window that is, one of the panes is broken and missing. You could easily fit something through there.
Can I look inside and see if there's anyone, like, sleeping underneath the window? If there's, like, if it's like an empty room, or...
Go ahead and give me a perception check.
Okay. And that one. For a total of 10.
Cool. You see some beds in there. You can't see any people. So, but you do see some beds in there.
Okay. All right. So she's gonna take a similar lurking parcel. This one's kind of covered in a little bit of jam. She had a snack on her way over.
Perfect.
And she's just gonna yeet it through the window.
Cool. So similar deal. You hear a solid, but this time followed with an ow. Oh, what was that? And you see someone stand up. You threw it, and it hit someone who was sleeping on the ground. As you now can see a little bit clearer. There's just some sort of sleeping bag type things, some bedrolls on the ground where you can see 2 children sleeping on the ground, and you hit one of the older kids, probably about 14 or so. He's like, ah. It's just like it's a little tiefling boy who's just like, ah, and he looks out the window. But
I'm invisible.
Yeah, with that he sees nothing.
Anyway, I go, shh.
What? Where'd that come from?
And then I'm gonna sneak away.
As you sneak away, you hear the same voice go, "Guys, wake up! There's someone outside!" And a torch or a lantern gets lit, and there's lights coming from that room now. But before you see anything else, you sneak away and get away. No problem.
All right. And then I'm going to, before I sneak back to the temple, I'm gonna make a stop somewhere quiet, like maybe like a park of sorts, like a little empty square.
Oh yeah, you're definitely able to find that. There's a pretty open park within the city. It's not super grassy or anything like that, but it's certainly will fit what you're trying to find.
Okay. And I'm going to like just kind of sit under a tree and take out some parchment and write a note.
Perfect. If you want to share what that note says, you may. If not, no worries.
You know what? I'm gonna type it up and we can share it on social media.
Sounds perfect.
I feel like that's easier.
Yeah. Sounds good. All right. What do you do after that?
And then I'm going to send the note off with Cass. I'm gonna tell him he knows where to go. I'm gonna give him a little kiss on his little beak and send him off.
Perfect. All right.
And then I'm gonna sneak back to the temple.
Sweet. You do so, no problem. The voice of Lord Quackers says, "Welcome back. I hope you rest." And you just hear in your head as Lord Quackers woke up enough as you came in, but then quickly fell back asleep.
Sleep well, sweet Lord.
Perfect.
And then she'll be visible again and take her trance spot underneath the statue of Lord Quackers.
Excellent. I love it. Wonderful. So, now, things have happened, but real quick, Misty Mountain Memes asked, Lyra, is Lyra an orphan? Isn't Lyra an orphan?
Lyra was abandoned by her parents.
So yes.
So
yeah, I'd call that an orphan.
Yeah, I mean, they may still be alive, but she was abandoned as a young child, so she has no idea.
So, yeah, there's your answer. Now.
Gonna have the trauma.
Always gotta have that trauma. So, we now pick up a couple days after the events of today. And over the course of those days, Jobriath has made a full recovery thanks to the magic of Lord Quackers. And he's begun work on each of the runes that you all requested, working alongside Joffrey, whom you all have paid at half price for his work, which I'll go over the money for that afterwards. Now, y'all can go ahead and talk about what you requested. You won't have it right now. It'll take some time to make these things, but what did you ask to receive from Jobriath?
Do you want to, like how we normally introduce ourselves, just go around?
Absolutely. So,
I mean, I think I already said what I wanted last time. So
Yeah,
I was literally the
people.
only one that had something last time.
perfect. All right, so Tyler, what did you request from Jobriath?
So Tyler, I'm just gonna say for now that he didn't have very good specific terms to offer when requesting. He was just like, so hear me out, okay? I was thinking that you could make a bow that is the best bow, and it would be called the Trueshot bow. And then he's like, you see it? Do you get it? You think you can work with that? And And then when Jobrieth would be like, so like, what do you mean? What are you looking for? Tyler would like cut him off and be like, oh no, the best bow, like the Trueshot bow, and kept cutting him off and kind of just left it to him to try to interpret and figure out.
I love it. Perfect. So he's taken what information you've given him, and he's begun working on that. Let's see. And next, Deanna, what did you request from Jobrieth?
So I think if I remember correctly, wasn't too terribly picky. She wanted something to do with her jam. She wanted like a magical jam jar of disguise, something like that like would refill itself, and yeah.
Yes. So, if I remember correctly, you requested specifically something that would allow you to change your appearance.
Yeah, that makes sense.
He said that he had something that might suit your fancy in that sense. And he did, in fact, take the jar of jam that you normally carry, so you have had to find a different one to carry.
I have backups.
Yes, I know you do. So he took one of your many jars of jam to work on. Lyra, what did you request?
Anna doesn't remember really well what Lyra requested, but I believe that she requested a sword that could inflict vicious mockery on a hit. So anytime that you were hit with her blade, you also heard like really bad, like just like really cutting insults. Like really witty, kind of like to the core, like wow, that was just like wow. Like yeah, like finds the most insecure thing about someone and attacks that. So they'll take psychic damage as well as slashing damage?
Slashing or piercing.
Yeah.
I think that's what I requested. I honestly don't
That
really
is,
remember.
in fact, what you did request. And he said,
It's gonna make.
I love that. Exquisite. I can absolutely do something like that for you. And so he went to work on that. And then, Storm, what did you request?
Storm requested a shield that reflects kind of her long history with fighting, as she was raised and trained up in a battle camp of sorts. So she'll have a +2 to her AC when fighting against any creature she's fought in the past, including those that she fought in her days at the training camp, and then anything we fought actually in campaign in addition to that.
Nice. Oh, such a good one. I love it. Hang on, I have to ban a bot. Hey, there we go. Cool. So, last, but certainly not least, Dolf, what did you request from Jobrieth?
Since I already had a specific weapon being made by Joffrey, cough, a hammer gun of some sorts, I requested to give it, a little bit more oomph when getting hit by that specific weapon. Just a little bit more impact and a little bit more bammy, if I could say.
I love it. So good. So, with that, he's gone to work on those things you've requested. Joffrey is making the physical components while Jobrieth is working on the rune crafting elements of it. Now, Jobrieth as he's staying at the temple with you all, he has informed you that it'll take some time for these things to be finished, as rune crafting can be a very it can take a good long while to perfect the runes. And he actually has come to you today. It's near the end of the day when he's been working with Joffrey. You all have gone about your day and done whatever you need to do, and you're all back at the temple now. And he's come up to you, and he says, hello, I am... sorry, very parched. It's been a very long day at work. Everything you requested, I love all of it. But, I've run into a bit of an issue. To complete the runes, I need some books that belong to me. I have they're very important because they have all the information that I need to make sure I have the correct measurements for the iths and the right angles of the towels. And as you all know, those are very complicated pieces of rune crafting and require precise work. And he looks to you all, just kind of like, well, yeah, obviously you know what iths and towels are, right?
Yeah. Why would you not have these books on you? Makes seem quite important.
Storm, he was attacked, remember? Like he's not going to carry those books around every single time that he was attacked. Sorry, I don't know. I'm going like this. It's more like this.
It's more like, hey, Storm, I'm down here.
Storm,
Hey. Just a full 90-degree angle.
Hey, Storm, hey.
What do you want?
You just
right, be tap. Gilbreth, did you have the books on you when you were attacked, or are they safe?
Oh, they're safe, certainly. They are in my home, which is not here in Nostahava. So I will need you all to fetch them for me, as I'm not well enough to travel yet. As either using runes to get to where I need to be, or traveling but via foot would be very taxing on my injuries. So I need you all to get them and bring them back to me.
Storm sees Lyra raising her hand and goes, Gilbreth, Lyra has a question.
Oh, yes, I'm so sorry. Yes.
I just have to ask, out of character, did you see me raising my hand and intentionally ignore me?
No, sorry. I had pulled up some other things on my screen, and so I did not see you.
like dancing around here all day.
Sorry. I had pulled up my Word doc, the Google Doc that I have everything written on, so I did not see it. Sorry.
It's fine. I feel like he would have ignored her anyway. Lyra, okay, back in character. Is there any chance that these books would be at the library? Like, we
absolutely
could just check
not.
out some copy.
Oh,
but
sure?
Lyra,
like, should we just check? Like, can we just like make sure?
Storm picks up what Lyra's putting down and looks at Lyra and says, "So, like, they're his magical books. However, long journey. We'll need some entertainment, some light reading. You know, we'll pop by the library before we head out."
everyone just.
Okay.
Tyler looks at Lyra and goes, "What's so great about the library?"
I mean, books are great.
You wouldn't understand. Can you even read?
I
You don't have the sword yet. Calm down.
Storm's gonna look at Lyra and then look at Tyler, then look at Lyra and then look at Tyler, and then she's going to very pointedly, while looking at Tyler, say, "Of course he knows how to read. Don't you remember his little cross stitch? His mama's little boy cross stitch."
Yeah, I do remember that. We at least know he can cross stitch.
is just sitting in a corner grinning, and it's just like everyone hears in their head, road trip.
Yes, Jogrith, we can go as long as you point. I guess like take out a map or something. It's like just tell us where we need to go.
Okay, you said they were in your home?
Yes, which is very easy to get to. So, I don't know, how many of you have been to Sertusika, the capital here in Hashland?
Probably not. Maybe once. I don't know.
No.
Maybe not.
This is the most time I've spent in a city in my entire life.
I'm sorry, what was the name of that place?
Sertusika.
Bless you.
No. So I'm taking
Okay.
who has anyone been to Sertusika?
No.
I think. Okay, out of character. Would I have been there?
Yes, you absolutely have. Lyra, since you were, part of a traveling circus, you absolutely stopped in many of the main capital cities of each country.
Okay. Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I've been there.
Oh, wonderful. So, it is not terribly far. I mean, it is about 2 weeks' travel on foot or by horse. Shorter by horse, really. But I can get you there using runes. I can get you into my house. I have this very complicated runes system set up where I can travel to my house just using a rune immediately. I can be inside, no problem. But I don't have it set up so you can make the return trip. So you won't be able to immediately travel back to Nostrahauber, but I can get you to Sertusika in a moment.
Okay.
Got it. Okay.
Okay, question.
Yes.
Can you explain to me why you're sending 5 of us and not just going yourself?
Well, I did explain.
Because he can't.
It's the return.
Did I
It's
miss
the
The rune
return
doesn't
trip.
make him come back,
Yes.
Yeah.
and then
but
he would
like-
have to travel to. He was dead yesterday, basically.
Okay, but listen,
Basically,
you're fine
yeah.
today, buddy.
I am
But-
still a very old man.
Also, I
Okay.
bet you.
You are
I bet
pretty
he's been
old.
sizing up these runner's legs on me, and he knows I'm a fast runner.
And also, it won't be just
No.
5 of us. It's gonna be 6 of us. Gabo, you up for an adventure?
Oh gosh.
You
Oh,
just
gosh,
hear
are you sure?
from where you're talking, you just suddenly hear as like you hear some footsteps just like stand up quickly, and someone just comes running. He's like, oh yes, oh sir, adventures, sirs and ma'ams.
Scuttle.
As the tiny little goblin child Gabo comes right around the corner, dressed in much nicer clothes now that he's settled in to the temple. He's got his short sword with the cloth, with the remaining cloth that was his mother's scarf tied around the hilt. Still scorched edges along that scarf from Storm's fireball incident. So,
Road trip.
but he looks much more chipper, looks cleaner, having taken a bath and gotten some nice clothes. He's wearing these nice, just some leather breeches and a light blue shirt.
Aw.
I'm just going. It's like I looked at everyone else. I was like, I think this is a good first quest for Gabo to be having. Like we'll have Gabo, kind of do most of the quest, so he can feel like he's doing this adventure, and getting a taste of a life of an adventurer. We'll be there, of course,
Bodyguard.
supporting him.
Send the child.
But yeah, I think this is a nice learning opportunity for Gabo.
Uh-huh.
On Gabo's behalf, he was pretty badass when we found him already.
Yeah.
Yeah, but also
I
like
do like the
tons of
concept.
trauma.
of, hey, you know what? We all got trauma, Lyra. Let's talk about it.
Yeah, but we don't need to put someone through more trauma.
Well, that's the thing.
Because
this should be
guys,
pretty.
guys, did you forget? And she's like gonna mind speak just to you five. Don't forget that if we get this wrong, he's gonna turn into a very dangerous evil god, and we want him to be a very good god. Like this.
So
we
putting
can't
him
get
on
this
it-
wrong, guys.
Also,
So putting him on-
Lyra, I just want to let you know you did clarify 5. So you also said this to Gabo.
Wait.
There's only 4 people
I
aside
said
from
the
you.
5. I said the 5 of us.
No, you said you
Which would-
5.
Good.
Did I?
But
Is that really
Uh,
what you
in-
said?
So
Quackers
in your
can hear all of that, right? And he
Oh,
can
yeah.
do this thing that he did last time that I did this shit.
But I think you
Like
said that out
cover
loud.
his ears as if that's gonna help.
Storm, as she realizes that Gabo was linked into this as well, as Lyra starts to mind start, is just gonna go.
But Lyra
Really?
wouldn't make that was an Anna.
That was an
Wait.
Anna thing. Okay, gotcha. I
that
just
was
wanted to
not-
clarify.
Lyra would not like
Yeah.
have
All right.
done that.
That's why I wanted to make sure. I wanted to clarify that you were. I just wanted to make
I
sure.
specifically said I don't want Gabo to hear.
Okay, gotcha.
But but the thing is that we, like, if we take Gabo along with us, he's learning. This is a big learning experience, and like,
yeah, I just want to bring us all back to that moment where he fought an owlbear and it almost killed him, and then he had some kind of like freak out on its corpse. You remember that where he like?
But like the thing is, this is
That was
gonna
pretty
be
awesome,
a
then.
much safer environment. We're not
That's what you
expecting-
say. That's what you say. But this dude whose books were
Well,
going
we can't
to
shelter him
retrieve-
forever.
Oh gosh, guys.
yeah, we can't
We can't
shelter Gabo forever because Gabo's
This
ready
is-
to go on adventures.
You
This is a big
hear
mind
the
conversation.
you hear the voice of
Is that right?
Gabo say, I can understand that you are talking using the magic head thing. I can't hear it, so I can only assume I'm not being included intentionally, and if it's because you're concerned for my safety, I can handle myself. And he like gives a very like focused look and says, I can do anything with my friends. And just like stands tall and proud, but also kind of like a little shy.
Storm out loud to everybody is going to say, Gabo should come. I would, however, feel a little bit more comfortable. Maybe got you some armor, maybe a smidge better sword. Just like have you adequately prepared. You keep the sword, of course.
Yeah, he
If
grips
you
his sword,
just
like-
have 2 swords.
I don't know if I could carry 2 swords. But
You could use a little
Mr. Lord
dagger or a
Crackers,
little hand bow.
Mr. Lord Crackers, did actually give me some stuff, just
Oh?
in case.
Oh, well then perfect.
Hang on. And he goes pittering off, and you just hear like a lot of.
Okay, while
Yes.
he's gone, I'm looking at the 4 of them, and I'm like, listen, if he dies, I'm blaming all of you, and I will never
That's
forgive
why I'm here. I'm the healer.
Out of character question. Do you have a diamond on you, Dolf?
I mean,
Well, we can get one.
diamond.
We can get one. Let's go.
Right?
We can do. Like,
I
some
will
kind of
make
stuff
you
before
keep
we-
track of the diamond for the revivify spell. That's
I
one
know
of-
you gave me one free one. I know.
Storm, in response to Lyra saying that, is gonna go, look, I understand the concern for him, but the reality is Gabo has gone through much of his life on his own, and that is what could turn him into the vengeful god that we would have to worry about. Him being surrounded by his friends and those who are going to care for him and ensure that as he's building his skills, he's doing so in a safe manner. that's going to be what he needs. It's like, Lyra, have you ever been drunk?
No.
It's okay. Well, then this is a great opportunity for you as well. It would be safer for you the very first time that you're getting heavily intoxicated to be surrounded by friends in a safe location than it would be to be on your own in a bar where you don't know anybody.
But
Similar
alcohol's possessed.
situation.
I would never drink it. It's got spirits in it.
You know, Gabo,
No.
Well, hold on.
Spirit.
It is. I need you to hold. Did you just say?
What? This is
You
something
think
we
it's
gotta
possessed?
unpack somewhere else. We can't.
You think it's
unpack this
possessed by
now.
ghost? By haunt?
No, this was literally one of Lyra's fun facts, like
Mhm.
6
But now
months
it's
ago.
happening in game.
But now
We're
it's in
resolving
game.
this.
This is totally
cannot
canon.
We cannot
Lyra has
unpack this
never
right
drank
now.
alcohol because she was heard it referred to as spirits when she was
Oh
a
my
child
God.
and has forever believed that
Oh
it's
my
actually
God.
ghosts.
Lyra,
And people are possessed. That's like when
I
they're drunk, they're possessed.
can fully promise you. You know what? On my life and on my pact to Lord Quackers, it's not a ghost. It's simply fermented stuff that turns alcoholic, and then people act a little bit stupid when they're drunk, yes, but they're not possessed in the sense of like spiritual ghost attaching themselves to the. It's not. Who told you this?
Tyler has a lot
to-
of misunderstandings about a lot of things, but this is probably the first time that like someone else in the group has a brutal misunderstanding that he actually knows. And so Tyler, in this
Lyra, I
moment,
would like to give you a drink.
you know, okay, spooky alcohol aside, I think the important note here is that Gabo has a good heart and a very strong moral compass that we need to maintain.
But yeah.
I
that's what you took
mean,
from this, because
This will be exciting.
Lyra
Yeah,
thinks that
I feel
alcohol
like
is
that was
haunted.
just like a known thing.
Look,
the
we
thing
could-
to take from this conversation is Lyra thinks that beer
We
is
could talk-
ghost.
we can
It's just shakes her head and walks away to find Gabo.
we can cover this when we're on our way back from this
Oh.
thing. Like we're
We'll
talking
cover
about
this.
in front of Joe Bria.
Jobrith has just been
Lyra
standing
to the
here
bar.
this whole time, just waiting.
Yes, Joe
Uh,
Bria, we will take this quest for you. We're gonna wait for Gabo to come. I'm gonna go talk to Lord Quackers real quick. But yeah, once we're all ready to go, I think we can go on this quest.
So
A quest!
you are accepting this quest.
Yes.
Yeah.
One-
Yeah!
Wonderful.
Wait.
Jobrith, what was that?
What was what?
Wait, did anyone else say that?
I heard something. As soon as you confirmed the validity of us confirming the quest, there was a sound. There was perhaps a sound of celebration. Is that-
Did you glow a little bit there? Like, did you glow a little bit? Is there like a glowing space?
Did you cast prestidigitation on yourself
I
to make
have
this more
no
momentous
idea what you're
occasion?
talking about. I heard absolutely nothing. Are you all feeling alright? There was a solid moment a few moments ago where none of you were talking, you were just looking at each other and not
Oh.
saying
Group
anything.
therapy thing we're
Jobrith?
trying where we make eye contact and we don't talk and we just
It's-
feel
it's-
each other's
it's-
thoughts. And
It's
it
talking
works.
without talk. It's
Hey,
it's
Joe Bria, if
it's-
magic is real, you know this. You're a rune crafter. What do you think? Let's. 1 + 1 is what?
2.
There
Out
we
of,
go.
I will go ahead and say, Stuart, out of your knowledge of magic it's plentiful. And so the idea of, you know, telepathy and all that is not uncommon, but it's still like
weird.
people don't just assume that very frequently.
But I
So
feel like if 5 people are standing in a circle looking like they're talking about something without moving their mouths, Magic Man should put it together.
maybe.
Okay, but listen, we are also in a temple that's dedicated to a god that is a duck. Like, there's a lot of weird things going on.
Quack quack.
Quack, quack. But yeah, speaking of, I'm gonna go look for Lord Quackers.
At that moment, you do hear as the sound of some, like, what sounds like to be small amounts of armor, as Gabo comes back into the room.
Runs straight into me because I ran to find him.
There's a solid, like, thunk as you both run into each other. He's very excited. He says, "Oh, I'm so sorry, ma'am. But this is what Mr. Lord Quackers gave to me." And you see he's wearing just some very basic leather mixed with a chainmail combination, very ornate armor, engraved with ducks mid-flight, and just like the shoulder cloth. There's some cloth covering the chainmail, and it's very decorative with this kind of deep pine green and gold. Very beautiful armor.
Oh my god, I'm going to die if Gabo's becoming a paladin.
Oh, don't you look handsome and so fierce?
Thank you, man. And he like stands up straighter, and you can see he has his short sword still at his side. He's got a small, tiny little short bow on his other hip, and on his back is that stick that Tyler gave to him to be as one of the men of the wood. That he has that on his back, and he puts on like this tiny little like kind of helm that just kind of covers the back of the head and keeps his face open, and his ears kind of stick out the sides of it.
You are a proper adventurer.
He just is like glowing. He's smiling so big, his big toothy smile. Like,
you ready for a road trip? And I like start to walk with him to the.
Absolutely.
Out of character, does this mean his AC is higher?
Yes, it absolutely does.
Please.
I'm not going to give y'all a useless NPC who's going to be traveling with you. He is still currently only level 1, but...
We'll work on that. You know, we'll give him some rare candies.
He had the
level
peach ring. I feel like that should have gotten him to level 2.
Well, I mean, he like actually has to train or whatever. So, you know.
Oh yeah, you know.
Anyway.
I'll take him
Cool.
for a
We
little
can do
walk
that on
about
the
the
road
woods
trip back.
training trip.
Little training montage.
Hell yeah.
All right, so Dolf, you are going to find Lord Quackers.
Yeah. Yeah. Just you know, asking about a certain spell component where I could where I can find a certain spell component and how I can acquire that.
You find him in the main area of the temple. He is just simply tending to guests and visitors to the temple, people who are becoming followers of Lord Quackers, not specifically like disciples as you all are. And so he is out there just talking with the folk, as the temple is pretty crowded right now in the main area. So, but when he sees you coming close, he's kind of just gently touches the people who are talking to him on the shoulder, just excuses himself and comes over and says, Dolf, what can I do for you?
Just wanted to let you know we are going to help Jobriath with his getting some books of his, so we won't be here for a little bit. And also, I was kind of wondering, do you know where I can get a some diamonds so I can make sure that we'll be okay?
How would a diamond? How would a diamond make you... Dolf, I hope you know that monetary things and things of... You don't need them to feel whole.
Oh, no. It's in order for me to cast a spell, in order to make sure that we all come back okay.
You mean you need a diamond worth at least 300 gold pieces?
Yeah, pretty specific, yes.
How did you know?
Yeah.
Well, I unfortunately cannot create one of those for you. Some of the more precious materials of the world are much more complicated. It would take me some time, but I could do it, but it sounds like you need it in a hurry.
Yeah. So do you know anyone that I could grab that from or like buy or something? I don't know.
Dolf, I will say you have explored this city much more than I. You know, I tend to the people of this temple, and I don't often just go about the streets, as I'm sure I would have issues with Cure.
Yes, of course.
And he kind of like says it as if he's like got a bitter taste whenever he says it.
Well, if anything, we just want to let you know that we are about to go on this quest, and Gabo is also coming with us. We're gonna try to see if we could train him a little bit more. Teach him some more things.
Wonderful. Bring him up correctly. I'm certain that this journey will be beneficial both for him and all of you. It'll be good to see him interact with the world so he can become more familiar with everything that is going to be really under his dominion. And he says that last bit in your head, so no one else hears it. But says, but this will be good. Protect him well. His new armor shall help, but I believe you will need. Good to have a backup. You're thinking in the right ways, Dolf. And he just kind of puts his hand on your shoulder, and you feel invigorated. So you now have a point of inspiration if you don't have one.
Yeah. Hell yeah. Nice. So I'll bow to Woodquacker's just like we will see you in probably about 2 weeks' time. It takes a bit to come back from it. So it's
you shall all certainly be missed, but don't worry, I will tend to the temple in your absence. And he kind of bows back to you in a very sort of thankful way. Not as reverent as you would provide to him, but still very much I appreciate you greatly.
Yeah. So Dolf will head back to the group. Also, side note, how much money do we have? how much funds can we play around with? And also, where can I get a diamond that I could use to cast this spell?
Cool.
I have written down, because what did we buy from?
So
Joffrey?
the money
Did we
you
go
spent at Joffrey for everything is you wouldn't have had to spend any money at Joffrey's just because you provided the materials, but for everyone else, the total would have come out to about 3,000 for everything.
Okay. So before Joffrey's, we had 7,660. So we have 4,660.
Yeah.
And that's after we paid everything for rent, right?
Yes, as well.
So yeah, I'm just probably we don't have to role play this. Like, I would like to get like 1, maybe 2 diamonds so I can cast Revivify before we head out.
Okay. Yeah, you're able to do that pretty easily. I mean, you've been past a few different jewelers.
So just minus 600 gold from that as well.
Yes.
Cool, I got it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Does anyone else have anything they'd like to do before you head on your way?
We don't have to to play it out, but Lyra is definitely gonna go to the library.
Oh, we're definitely gonna play this out.
Oh, okay.
What do you-
Yes.
What do you
Good.
need?
Is this a solo mission or is this a?
I mean, I'm gonna tell y'all that I'm going, so if you want to come with me, you can. Like, she doesn't want it to be secret.
Is going.
Storm is gonna go. She wants to see how Lyra does without any wingman assistance.
Dolf is helping out Gabo pack for the journey.
Oh, one thing. While we're out and about, Storm just kind of has like some like fabric thread over her back, so like her leather straps don't rub against her. I'd like to see about getting just like a very small saddle kind of situation that can be put on, nothing complex or anything, but in case like Gabo is like getting tired of walking. But I mean, frankly, y'all so small.
We are very small. It's just
Tyler and Lyra are normal sized, and like sitting on like Storm's back just like without a saddle's fine. You guys are small and will squish around. So just a saddle that could adjust to size for our smaller companions so they don't fall off if needed.
Hey, what's up? I'm
Yeah.
small. Ooh. Thank you for the bits.
Yeah,
Gem
thank
Song.
you. Wow, I think that's the first time we've received.
10,000 bits.
Oh, Corgo. Wow.
I
Aw.
don't know what that means.
I don't know what it means either, but it's cute.
What
It's
can?
like
Yeah, what can we do with bits? I'm still so new to Twitch. Well,
kind of like a donation.
Yeah,
right?
they they're donating money to you.
oh wow, wow, thank you.
Wow.
Really do appreciate that. Dang, too kind. Oh, man. Cool. Well, whew. Dang. So, looks like Tyler's probably gonna stay back with the boys.
That's right. I'm gonna stay back here with my little man about the woods and my little man about the healing things.
Perfect.
My God. You know what? Let's say this. Like while they're at the library, Gabo and Tyler are coming with me to go get the diamonds.
Perfect.
The spell book. So
Sounds like fun. Way more fun than stupid books.
Don't get kidnapped again.
wow, thanks. Doesn't sting
Yeah.
still.
Would Storm have
He did kind of mess you up last time, so like, Don't go with
it's
any
fine.
seeds
It's
on you.
fine. It's
Don't-
fine. I'll be
just-
fine.
just don't carry seeds on you. And
would Storm kind of have to choose between library and kind of shopping for that saddle?
I would say as depending on how quickly you want to leave, but I mean, if Lyra's heading straight to the library, it's up to Lyra. Like, I mean, if she's gonna wait or not.
I mean, when are we planning to like leave for Jobria's mission?
I was planning
Probably
on
like
leaving
as soon
after
as
I got
possible.
my
Yeah, like
after I
get
got
the
my
stuff
spell
we need and
components.
go.
Okay, then we should probably split up.
Okay, cool. Storm will go get the saddle thing, and I'm assuming that that's kind of most of the stores are in like the same general area.
Yeah, you
So
know.
she's with the boys, and we'll peel off to get the saddle.
Cool. Yeah, you're able to.
Yeah, you need to give us our
Yeah, since you're the. Oh, I love it.
Mom has the money.
Mom, I need my money. I gotta go shopping.
I gotta get the diamond.
I want that credit card.
Everybody has the appropriate funds in which they need.
Perfect. So yeah, so
How much
to
should I
get
take out for
a
the
saddle that size is gonna be like 10 gold pieces.
Cool. Yeah. That way they don't have to make any deck saves to stay on my back.
Yeah. Cool, cool. All right, so is there anything you wanted to do aside from the library, or are you just going to the library too?
I'm just going to the library too because I don't want to miss that.
Excellent. All right, so Lyra and Iz, you both go to the. Also, hang on. Thank you, Jim Songs, for the sub. Wow. Appreciate that. That's so nice. All the subs. Goodness.
Wait,
So
6 months in advance? Whoa.
I know.
Crazy.
Does that mean like they're not sub?
They're sub for 6 months.
Oh, for 6 months.
From
Oh.
now to 6 months.
There is discounted subs.
It's September.
It's September.
Ah, good to know.
Forgot about that.
Nice. Cool. Well, so Lyra, you go back to the library with Iz. You walk in and it's there's all these books everywhere. There's the kind of just the.
No. Hold up. I don't just walk in.
Oh, you don't just walk in. Okay.
I stand in front of the door for a solid 5 minutes.
It
Debating.
just walks into you like where.
Hi.
Are we going? Oh.
You can go in. I'm gonna I needed to. This door's really interesting, and I've really been meaning to look at it more. So I'm gonna just study it for a minute. I'm really getting into the woodworking, and like this is really the texture is unique.
Pretty cool door, and I'm just gonna go under her legs and open the door for her.
It would be really cool if this door was not made out of wood.
I just kind of assumed.
It is made out of wood. But it is a very basic door, like nothing ornate. It's just kind of like a flat wooden plank, like a bunch of wooden planks put together.
I open and walk in like it's just a door.
Okay.
Just walking into the library.
Yeah, and Lyra's like, it's just books. I'm just here for books. And then she psychs herself up to go in.
Perfect. So yeah, walking in, you are greeted by kind of like just the library guard, very loosely put, is an armed librarian, just kind of make sure nobody's stealing books. So much more vicious.
They did have stuff. Didn't they have stuff stolen from them? Or that was the museum.
Yeah, that was museum. So they greet you as you walk in, and so now you're in the library. What are y'all doing?
I'm gonna go to like the herbology section, like pretend. Well, like Lyra is trying to come up with a reason to be here. So she's gonna be looking for something. That was weird. Did that happen for everybody?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that might have been me. Sorry.
That's okay. That just scared me.
One of my keys on my keyboard stuck, and it just kind of like spat.
She's gonna be looking for something like something that she could use on this trip potentially, like some kind of like I don't know, medicinal book.
Okay.
She's struggling. I'm
You really didn't plan for this.
Alright, yeah, perfect.
Iz is searching for Luca. So you know, she's going straight for him.
Cool. Well, conveniently, you both actually happen to see him at the same time, as he happens to be in the section about he's holding a book about herbology. He's sorting them, and so you both happen to see him at the same time. You both see him on opposite sides of this specific aisle.
Okay, so Lyra goes like down the aisle, like trying to be like focused and everything, and she stops, sees him, and then turns around and like starts walking away.
Okay. Well, if you go,
am I near Lyra? Or am I at the other end of the
other end? Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But Luca does. Here you go. and turn around and he looks and says, Lyra?
Hi.
Hi, back so soon. You were here just last night.
Was it really last night?
No, it was a couple nights ago, sorry. You were a couple nights ago. Already read through those books?
I mean, do people not come to the library frequently? Like,
Well, usually
people not read?
it usually takes some people a while to read through the books, so, you already finished them? I don't see you carrying them on you, so I guess not.
Oh, poop. We should have brought those books back.
I'm gonna trip into him and push him towards her.
Okay,
What books did we check out?
books about... Oh, no, you didn't check out any. You just found... He gave you one
We
because it
found
wasn't
one,
supposed
and
to
he said,
be.
"Oh, this isn't supposed to be." Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I was really confused
You're right.
there. Okay.
Sorry. All right, so give me a strength check, Is.
I'm pretty sure Iz is the only person who's rolled tonight.
My rolls are like, so I got another nat 20.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my God.
Well, I had him roll at disadvantage because he's not expecting it. He rolled a nat
21.
1. So... You trip into him, and he full-blown, just, like, falls straight forward into Lyra. Lyra, I need you to make a strength save to hold both him and his weight as he runs straight into you.
Is fully bodies Luca.
Yeah,
I'm
that's an
half the
8.
size of him too.
I got a what?
An 8.
So, this is the scene. Let me set the scene.
Oh no.
So you're there talking, he's like maybe a couple feet away, you know, nice, like not like close, but like at a reasonable conversation distance. And then suddenly from behind him, just trips very forcefully into him. He falls forward and just splays out and runs right into you. Your strength doesn't quite cut it. And so you fall backwards. And so you're flat on your back with him on top of you. His face
being the whole episode.
How
guys.
close are our faces?
This is the
right
this is the rest of the episode.
Sorry.
Oh,
I
like,
got really
like
excited,
if
though.
you both puckered, you would kiss. Like,
And I'm just like, ooh, sorry. I just got really excited about her biology, and I just run away.
hi. Yeah, and he like quickly like puts his hands up and like kind of like scoots back. So, I'm so sorry. His face is like beet red at this point, and he sort of backs up. He like slowly stands up without like stepping on you, and he helps you to your feet as he stands up. Are you okay? I didn't mean to. I threw the book shut.
I don't think I've ever been so close to another person in my life before. Physically, I mean physically.
Okay. That's a lot. That's a big statement there. You've never like hugged anyone?
This whole conversation is happening while he's on top of her.
No.
No.
He stood up and helped her get up.
Okay. Sorry. Okay. Fine.
I wish though.
I'm pretty sure that has not happened in game, and it would not have happened before.
Other than Lord Quacker, I mean, the closest thing was Lord Quackers.
Yeah, the closest thing was Lord Quackers.
But you dodged that, didn't you?
I did.
Yeah.
I did. I
Oh
think
my god,
I did.
Lyra's never been hugged.
Yeah.
So this is the closest you've ever been to someone physically.
Yeah.
Does Iz hear this? Is Iz like in earshot?
I'm literally watching through the book.
Yeah, 100% is hearing this. Well, I'm sorry that I was the first, and it was that, uncomfortable. I'm so sorry, I didn't mean to fall on top
I mean,
of you.
it wasn't your fault. and also it did. I mean, my head my horns kind of hit, but like it's okay. They're fine. I think. Are they fine?
Yeah, no, they look great. Yeah, your horns are awesome. I mean, yeah, they look good.
Can I just like prestidigitate a puff of wind to blow past Lyra's hair, like to look a little romantic?
Now, what were you looking for?
So we're having to leave, and we're gonna be gone. We're gonna be traveling, and I needed books on medicine. I needed books on medicine or herbs that might be found in, what is the town we're going to?
Sartusica?
Sartusica, that might be helpful in healing, because I have a feeling we might get hurt.
Well, there's plenty of books on herbs and whatnot. I'm sure some of them have. Actually, here, hang on. I have one right here. And he reached out and grabs a book that's just labeled herbs.
It doesn't matter. Lyra doesn't look at it.
Yeah, so, but it's written by someone called James Gifford, Mr. James Gifford, at patreon.com. Great place if you want D&D items. Lots of actual herbs for your D&D games. Plug mid-game. So, Mr. James Gifford.
I take the book and I'm like, thanks. We're gonna be gone for like 2. What is the loan limit? Like, I don't know.
It's okay. I'll check it out under my name. We get to check it out indefinitely if we want. So.
But what if I die and I can't bring it back?
Well, that's why it's indefinite. But I ask that you please don't die.
You know what else is indefinite?
I'm gonna try not to, but sometimes things happen, and okay, bye, thanks.
You're welcome. And he kind of waves, and as you're walking.
Yeah, she didn't leave. She just said that.
Oh.
She's not leaving. She's just standing there with her book.
Frozen in his mind.
Go ask Crow.
She's like, what the? He suddenly is not focused anymore on what's going on. He's just, what?
Are you okay?
I just heard a voice in my head. Am I going crazy?
Oh no. You did? Oh, that's weird. Weird stuff happening, man. Okay, have you heard about Lord Quackers?
Yeah, you handed me a pamphlet last time you were here.
Do you want another one? Did you happen to lose that one?
No, he pulls out a perfectly untouched, a clearly red, it's got crinkles and folds and whatnot from reading, but it's he's kept it in his jacket. He pulls out and says, "No, I'm still good. I've still got it."
Okay.
I'm so confused. I heard a voice. That was weird. I'm so sorry. I'm just very frazzled now.
At this point, he's just gonna walk around the corner.
I just got touched. I'm full bodied by somebody. I'm a little frazzled too.
My boy Ace is gonna walk around the corner and she's like, I found this great romance novel about tieflings and elves, and are you good?
Yeah, no, I'm sorry. Yeah, here, I'll let you two go. It was nice seeing you both. It was I believe?
Yeah, that's me.
Yeah, nice seeing you, and, Lyra, I hope your journey is fruitful, and please don't die. I would like to have that book back. And he
Oh
kind of,
yeah. Here, you know what? Maybe you should just keep it because I
His
might get blood
kicks
on it.
Lyra. The kicks are in the shit.
Like trying to hand it back to him. Roll to kick.
you could
Like
roll.
on her way past, just like kicks her like, what are you doing?
I mean, yeah, you're able to like kick no problem without dealing any damage.
Ow.
Whose good idea was to leave these two alone?
This is going great. I don't know what you mean.
Luca looks at this. He's like, no, it's okay. Like you will probably need it. There's a lot of very interesting herbs and things that would probably be very useful for you on your trip.
Does it tell you how to make them? Because I've
Yes.
never
Yeah.
made
No.
a
It's very
version
all.
of any sort in my life.
It's all instruction. Every instructions for different ways to prepare. But if you can eat it raw, it tells you can do that, or ways to prepare it that is most beneficial. It's a great read, honestly. I highly suggest it. So and you might find it's just a fun read. It's very entertaining.
Okay, thanks. I'll really try not to die. I mean, I'll try to get your book back to you, and I promise that if I die, it was not intentional. Probably. Actually, I will. Okay, mostly. No, actually. Okay, bye.
I would love to check out this this amazing romance novel while you're at it.
Okay. Yeah. Absolutely. Here, let me just see the book real quick. And just keep your hand on it. So like, just hold. We're both gonna. Have you ever checked out a book with us before?
No.
Okay, just keep your hand on the book then. And he comes out and touches it, and you see actually a tattoo that you haven't really noticed at first. Like you've seen it, but the tattoo that is along his wrist, it is an open book that has pages in it that like you can see little things scrawled in it, but like the pages aren't full. And so when he touches it, you see a little scrawling on one of the pages in this tattoo start to be filled out. And then he's like, all right, yeah, no, you're all good.
I want one of those.
Well, it's just it's our system of keeping track of who has what books.
Wait, do I need to check out my book?
No, it's being checked out on me. Remember, you're good.
Checked out on him.
But you don't have to like put it in someone's tattoo. I'm confused. If it's checked out, then doesn't it need to be recorded that it was checked out?
It's okay. I'm.
What if someone forgets? What if you forget?
Okay.
that you wrote
Here.
it and then
He comes up and he is trying to you're like, it's okay, and he like touches it, and it like just grazes one of like your fingers lightly as he touches the book. And the same thing happens. This time it happens in gold lettering. It's not legible, but it's just little gold scrawlings in the book, aside from the normal black. So yeah, no, you're good. It's checked out on me. See, like the gold means I checked it out.
Is that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I almost said something that I would say, but not Lyra in this situation.
How thick is that forearm?
Oh, they're very toned. Very toned.
Yeah, he's been doing a lot of, lifting.
Yeah. He's got some good arms. They're hidden underneath a jacket, but he's got rolled up sleeves, so that's how you're able to see the tattoo. So.
Okay. Lyra has reached her capacity for awkward flirting, which was not actually flirting at all. So she's going to make a beeline for the door, and she's not saying goodbye this time. She's not even like she's just gone. Like she's just like, I'm out.
Oh.
Like
Is this gonna follow slowly and just look at Luca like?
He's very confused by what you're doing, but he follows, like, he looks to Lyra and says, bye, don't die. And he kind of like follows you, like his you don't see this, but you definitely see his eyes just follow her as she leaves.
I just start giggling and walk out the door.
Wonderful. Excellent. With that, we're gonna take a break. Just a nice short 10-minute break so we can get some drinks and snacks or whatnot. We'll be right back. Well, sorry. We will be right quack.
Quack.
See y'all in a moment.
Okay.
I'm sorry. My bad. Welcome. I brought us back a little too prematurely. The other Canadian Luke is still eating. My apologies. Alright, so you've all taken care of your various errands. Lyra, you now have a book of herbs. And yeah, so you all meet back at the temple. Jobriath and Lord Quackers are just talking. There's not as many people coming to worship at the temple. It's a little later in the day at this point, but still not super late. It's more like about to be dinner time. And so as you walk in, Lord Quackers and Jobriath say hello, and Dolf and Tyler and Gobbo, you all return back before everyone else. Your errands didn't take as long, and Storm as well, since you were with them. You four returned first, and Iz and Lyra returned shortly after. Not terribly long, but as you walk up, you notice on the ground in front of the altar to Lord Quackers, the large statue, you see a large shape drawn into the floor in just chalk. That has clearly fresh. And it's as you look at it closer, you see it's a very clear rune. Very intricately done. Jobriath looks up to you and says, this is what is going to be taking you back. We're taking you to my home. Now, the journey will be very easy, though a bit uncomfortable. So just take it easy when you get there. Now, the books I'm looking for in question. One is labeled Esquivitro. That one I need. And I'll need one other book called The Taura. They should be sitting on my desk amongst a pile of other rune-related books, but those are the only two I will need to complete my work for you.
Can you spell those? And also, Lyra's raising that hand thing again.
Oh, perfect. Yes, Lyra.
I don't really know what that means. I don't get it.
First of all, the second book, did you say it's called the Towel Run?
No, the Taura. That one's spelled T-A-U space R-A. The first one is spelled E-S-Q dash V-I space T-R-O.
Did somebody else get that? Because I didn't.
ESQ dash VI dash TRO.
Space TRO.
Space TRO.
Yes.
Also, second question. I was gonna ask it out of character. Is it blood? Is it ink? Like, what is this rune written with?
Chalk.
You said chalk, right?
Yeah.
Chalk. Okay. I definitely missed that. I'm sorry.
You're fine. Now, when you get to Sertusica, Lyra, you being the only one, make sure they don't get too overwhelmed. It's a lot for newcomers. And all of you have at least heard of Sertusica, even if you've not been there. Having spent some time in Hashland now, you've heard talk of the clean streets and the vast swaths of opportunity that many have found in that city. You all know it to be a hub of trade and innovation, especially as the headquarters of the Rune Crafters is located there. And you know it to be filled with many learned individuals coming to learn and gain more knowledge, both of the natural and the arcane. So that's at least what all of you know baseline. Lyra, you know much more, but we'll dive into that when we get there.
And is it at the headquarters that the books are?
His house. house,
It's
right?
yeah, it's in his house. The headquarters and his house are separate. So I do apologize for the mess. I know my house. I don't often get visitors at my house, so I apologize for that. Now, once you're ready, you may step onto this rune, and once I complete it, and he motions to a small corner. Yes, Lyra, what do you need?
First of all, have you never learned what raising one's hand means?
I am aware, but I usually need to finish what I'm saying before I answer the question. So what is it?
My question is, have you given us specific instructions on how to find these books in your house?
They're on my
Because
desk.
If you did, okay, and there's no we're not gonna get our hand chopped off by some warding ruin.
Why would I have?
Right.
No, nothing inside the
Oh.
house. No.
That would be exciting.
Nothing inside the house. Nothing protecting the books.
My
Maybe
house
the
is
housekeeper
locked.
We might scare. There's nobody there that we're gonna run into a wife that.
No, I
Might
am
not
not
be
married.
there.
I live alone.
Okay.
Hey, you hear that? Hear that, Lyra?
I'm just
Single.
trying. I look at Tyler are you what?
Jobrith gives you the same Anyways,
I meant, is there a key? Is there a key to the house?
We'll be
That's what I
inside the
said.
house, right?
Like the same
Yes.
thing.
Yeah.
The same question.
no. It is very simple. My house is magical in that sense. You may exit easily, but once you exit, you may not be able to enter again. Only that the outside is protected by runes, so those who wish to get in cannot, unless they're me.
Okay. One more question.
Yes.
Let's assume that whoever attacked you may have also gone to your house and maybe caused some damage and or destroyed your house. What happens to us if you send us to a location that is destroyed?
I'm sure you'll handle it. Whatever
Wait,
that
no,
looks like.
That's
I don't know. I don't know what
Uh-huh.
that would look like. It's
All right.
But we won't be destroyed,
no.
destroyed, right? Or
No.
I don't want to
under-
end up there with half of my body gone.
No,
because
that is
the ring was
ridiculous.
incomplete or something.
The only people who mess up teleportation runes are those who have never studied them except to try and learn them on their own and have never had any guidance and have not gone to the rune crafter's school to learn about it. Though that is where you mess up. You will not be torn asunder.
You graduated, right?
Yes, I teach
Cool.
there frequently.
Cool, we're good then.
Okay.
You do know how old I am, yes? I'm
No,
not
how old?
hundreds upon hundreds of years old. I've been doing this nearly my entire life.
Okay. Okay. I still have some misgivings about this, but that's just me. So okay.
Yeah, I think we're
Where
good.
is are you gonna put us in your office?
You'll be in my living room, as it were. It's a very small place. You'll see I have a bedroom, an office, a living room space, which is also a combined kitchen, and the front door's right there. So everything you'll see is right there. Now,
Okay.
when you get there, there's a bucket sitting near to a chair, and my washroom is through my office. Get there as quickly as you can if you feel nauseous. That is one downside to the teleportation rune. It does mess with one's stomach. Now, but before you go, here, I think you should at least take a couple of these. And he pulls out of his robes two small vials. Hands.
I want one.
Oh, take one. Is anyone else?
Storm will grab the other one.
Perfect. And so he hands you. He says, "These are potions of magic weapon. A bit of a finicky thing. They allow you to make your weapons magical. So if you run into any problems, coat your weapons with these, and they'll remain magical and more powerful for a short duration." And so you are all now in possession of 2 potions of magic weapon.
Is it just me?
Was that it in game?
Is it just me?
What was
Did
that?
anyone hear that?
What?
I heard it.
Elf, what are you talking about?
That was pretty cool. What was that?
I think this man has some weird farts.
Can that happen all the time?
Oh, goodness.
Luke, what was that called again? Or is this like a homebrew thing?
This is a homebrew thing.
Okay, that is why I cannot add it. All right, cool.
Yes.
Hey, listen.
Hang on. Sorry. Taking care of one little thing. Okay. Gotcha. Cool. Cool. So, with that, what do y'all do? So he's giving you that. You now have the rune in front of you, uncompleted, and he motions for you to step on when ready.
Storm will step on. Is there like enough room for all of us to stand around?
Oh, absolutely. It's
Gobbo up?
Yeah, it's a large rune.
I like jump on it.
Yeah.
And we have packed all our stuff. Like we're packed and ready to go, right?
Yes. I mean, yeah, you can. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
At this point, yes.
Yeah. Okay. I stepped into the rune circle.
Just the same day.
Mm-hmm.
I also step into the rune circle.
I motion for Gabo to go step on the rune.
He follows suit. So, as you step on, Lord Quacker says, "Be careful, as I will not be in the same town. I will not be able to immediately give you assistance should you need it, but reach out to me and I will help you as best as I can if you run into trouble. But I foresee you all handling yourselves simply and elegantly. Bless you."
That's my dad.
Nice. That's good.
He's 3 rooms away in the house.
Oh,
Just
wow.
so.
It's just the dad sneeze, you know? It's
Oh, it's a dad sneeze.
Yeah.
You gotta do it at the top of your lungs.
Yeah. Oh, goodness. All right, so with that, Joe Bereath gets down with a piece of chalk and connects just a couple more lines. And at the moment he does, he steps back. He says, "Good luck!" And in a flash, you all see nothing but a vibrant purple fire and lightning crackling all around you. The air is pulled from your lungs harshly. And for a moment, you see an endless galaxy of stars swirling and shifting around you, as if you can see the entire universe in a moment. And then all at once stops, and around you, you see a large room, wooden walls, its comfortable rug beneath your feet, and a large brown leather chair and a large pipe sitting on a well-worn arm. And as you were all reeling, and you suddenly feel the force of what you just experienced catch up with you, I need you all to make con saves.
A roll.
I know, surprise.
What's happening? I get to use my dice.
I got a 21.
Ooh. I got a dirty 20.
Nice.
I got
A
a
19.
17.
19 flat.
Oh boy. 8
Oh.
for Iz.
17.
All right, Iz. You feel awful all of a sudden, and you see the bucket he was talking about next to the chair.
Go for the chair.
Okay, sweet. So you make it to the bucket, and you just hurl all of anything you've eaten or drank today just comes spewing out of you, projectile.
Wait, didn't she say she went for the chair?
Yup.
Yeah, she went. She said she went
not
for
the
the
bucket.
Did not go for the bucket.
Okay, yeah. So you puke violently all over this very lush, well-worn leather chair.
Oh.
I'll
Ruined
just-
the upholstery.
It's fine, and I like prestidigitate it poorly. It's good as new.
I'm just gonna prestidigitate it. With just
Perfect.
it's
It's
like
fine. It's good. It's fine.
it's like
Let's not do that again.
Is the
we're
pipe-
not going to.
You said there's a pipe on the arm of the chair.
It's filled with vomit.
Is it still warm?
Do you go up and like touch it?
Yeah, I do.
No, it's cold.
Oh, okay. I just
All right,
wanted
no
to
one's
just
been.
a
It's
little-
there's a nice
I'm
layer
a
of
little
dust
suspicious.
over everything as you look around.
I'm a little suspicious of this place.
How's Gabo doing?
Oh, hang
Oh
on.
yeah, did he roll Constitution?
Oh, he's good. Yeah,
Nice.
yeah, he's fine. He like. Oh, that was not very fun,
I'm
ma'ams
just
and
gonna-
sirs.
I'm
Um,
just gonna sit over here.
Storm's gonna head toward. Can we see the desk from where we are?
Oh yeah, you can see through an open door. There's a desk that's just piled with paper and books and everything.
All right.
Well, Storm's
let's-
gonna just automatically walk towards it to get the books.
Yeah, let's find these books and then head out of here.
Nice. Yeah. So you look through, and even without an investigation, you're able to find them. They're right where he said they would be. You find both books easily. Now, how are you, like? Are y'all putting them in the backpack? Are y'all putting them in the bag of holding? What are y'all doing with them?
Storm will put them in just like a leather satchel bag next to her back. She's definitely going to read these on the journey.
Cool.
And I'd like to snoop.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'd like
yeah,
to do some
let's
snoopage.
do some
Iz
snoops.
is already on it. That's why she went to the corner.
No, you're throwing up.
Yeah,
stuff.
Iz is vomiting.
Is your vomit.
I'm pretending to still be sick in the corner while looking through the bookshelves.
Yeah, I'd like to check the desk out pretty
Some
thoroughly.
snoops.
Okay.
Pull out drawers, see if there's any false backs or anything that drops down.
You can't put us into some random magical dude's house and not expect us to snoop.
I mean, I guess he had more faith in all of you. Give me
Well,
invest.
okay, I would like.
Just a little bit.
It isn't, we're gonna
Lyra-
steal.
Not like
We're gonna snoop.
I don't
We
know
might
about
say
Iz.
it.
I don't speak for Iz.
Who might steal?
Go ahead, Anna.
23.
Hang on, Anna, what were you saying?
There is specifically looking to see if anyone's tried to break in, if anyone has been here, has like searched through his stuff. Like she isn't trying to snoop on him. She's trying to snoop and see if like maybe whoever attacked him also came here.
Okay. So anyone who is either snooping or doing what Lyra is doing, give me an investigation check.
23 for me.
All right, gotcha.
Ah, man. Do I use my inspiration for this?
Hey, I don't think you need to.
I
Oh
got a
shit! It rolled as I picked it up. It wasn't at 20.
I mean, I have a
Oh, I turned off my camera. I'm back.
I have a
Struggle is real.
just
I got
for
a 24.
those who don't know much of Dolph's stats. Dolph has 2 negatives in his stats. One is in dexterity and one is in intelligence. In investigation, is
Bestie.
an intelligence-based skill. So I have a -2 to my intelligence. So I rolled
What
a
does
6.
inspiration give you? Does it just let you roll with advantage?
I think it
Yeah.
just lets me roll again. Yeah.
You
Could
roll.
I give, with the nat 20, could I give Dolph the help action?
I mean, so it depends because you're all looking at different places.
Yeah, I'm just like, ooh, books.
I also got a 6.
Nice.
also.
Cool. Yeah.
I
See,
got an 8.
What did Gabo get?
Gabo's just standing there looking at all of you like, what are you all doing?
Hey, Gabo, could you help Dolph and look at all the book titles and see if there's anything that reminds you of just kind of magical stuff? If you could think of anything from your past that we might be able to help you with.
Oh,
there's
if
a
I had
amount
to
of
guess,
that.
if I had to guess, Gabo's reading is worse than mine, most likely.
I'll try my hardest, ma'am.
And go with
Question-
Dolph, because you guys can help each other.
Question about Gabo, like, we wouldn't be able to point at him, like, put a map in front of him, and he wouldn't be able to, like, try to figure out where.
I think we tried that.
Yeah, we tried that. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, he has
I
no
think-
clue.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
And
That's what I
Gabo
thought.
Maybe
read.
anything that reminds you of where you like grew up, maybe like mountain name, a nickname, something like that.
Okay. So he goes over and helps Dolph look, and he pulls out a book. Says, "Is this what you're looking for?" And he holds up a thick book that says "Cooking for Dummies." But it's got a mountain, and there's like a pot in front of the mountain that's steaming. It's like, is this magic?
Not exactly, but you know,
In a way.
it's
Can Gabo read? Have we
Yeah.
established? if can read?
Gabo.
No.
Yeah.
we're
Gabo.
gonna.
That's great, actually. Could be very useful for the journey back, so we don't have to eat gross food. So yeah, we'll look at that.
Excuse
Good
me,
job.
I cook very exquisitely. I cook
Storm's
very
gonna
good.
like just stare at him like, hush, we're supporting his book finding moment.
I feel insulted.
And then Storm will suggest, Gabo, how do you think you could find maybe some magic weapons? Or just any weapons, and then we can see if they're magic.
Oh, okay. As he's looking.
Okay.
Storm, what did you get? You got nat 20?
I got a nat 20. plus
And
4,
Iz, you got
24.
a
23.
23. Anna, you got an 8, right?
Mm-hmm.
Cool. All right. So Tyler, Dolph, and Lyra, you both don't really, none of you see anything either like snooping or see any signs of forced entry or anyone trying to get in from the inside.
I like to think that I found a mirror while I was looking for other stuff, and then I just took some time to just admire myself.
Just flexing a little bit. Just,
Yeah.
yeah. I love it.
That
I
tracks.
found one good-looking man. Is what I found.
Can Tyler roll to see if he thinks this is his reflection or if it's Troy?
Taylor. It's Taylor.
Taylor.
I feel like I have to roll a nat 1 or something to not
yeah.
understand the concept of mirror.
Yeah. No, with your intelligence is not a -5, so.
I did roll a 2.
You take a moment.
Do you have any
I
negative?
paused for a moment.
Could he at least do a double take? Like,
Do I have?
Yeah.
Okay, what am I rolling?
So, what is your intelligence?
My intelligence is -2.
Oh no!
And you rolled a 2.
Yes.
Oh, no.
All right.
All right, yeah, no, there is a solid minute where you are very certain that Taylor has showed up in this house right there in front.
maybe it's a full body mirror. I feel like that makes more sense if you can
Yeah.
see the
Mhm.
like
Yeah.
So he
or one of
sees the
those
mirror,
walls that's a mirror and you can't really tell.
and then without words, he just starts like sizing up and like going man to man against like
Himself.
Taylor, who he thinks is Taylor, and he does that for about a minute before he says like, "Why are you being so weird?" And then like when he sees his mouth move at the same time, that's when it clicks, and he's like, "Oh, it's a
Okay,
mirror."
so Lyra seeing this happen, it explains her 8 because she sees this happen, and as soon as Tyler turns around, Lyra has cast Disguise Self.
No.
So for chat, I saw the question, who is Taylor? So Taylor is Lyra, who disguised herself as Tyler for a performance that was happening at
During our circus days.
Yes, during the
Yeah.
circus
Oh,
days.
during our circus days.
Many sessions ago. And Tyler thought for sure that was someone else, not Lyra. So Tyler fully believes Taylor is
There's
someone.
someone
Person.
who is identical looking to himself, named Taylor, or at least to everyone else looks identical, but to Tyler looks just slightly less good looking than himself.
Like his cowlick is wrong. That's
Yes.
the only difference.
His face just looks a little funny
Yeah.
So
compared to
Yes,
mine. I mean,
I do think I remember Tyler in game insulting Taylor's appearance,
Mhm.
saying that he
I
was
kinda-
far more attractive.
I kind of think that was. I thought that he actually thought he was attractive. Like that was
Yeah.
one good thing about him.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah,
but
that's
his
right.
yeah,
yeah.
but his
So
dance moves
Yeah.
were whack.
yeah. Yeah,
It was just
Tyler's
sad.
dance moves were
That's
far.
the dance moves that you insulted.
Yeah. Taylor
Yeah.
was way less good at dancing for sure.
That's what it
I
was.
destroyed
I remember
him
an
in a dance
insult,
battle.
but I couldn't quite remember what it was about.
All right, so I turn around after seeing the mirror that I just decided is not Taylor, and then I see Taylor standing there.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, now what?
Yeah.
Okay. You tricky son of a gun! What are you doing here?
What are you doing here?
I'm here to get books. Why are you following us? Tyler puts his hand on his bow.
We can all see it's like.
Oh, yeah, this is all happening,
concept,
like,
right.
Yeah, this is all right.
Yeah,
then.
Storm is going to step between.
That's just an
Storm
intruder
knows
among
is
us.
Lyra and Tyler, and is going to go. Tyler,
Yes.
hey bud,
Mm-hmm.
that's Lyra.
Don't you dare tell him.
Lyra has horns, for sure.
Can
I'm sure of
can
it.
Tyler see around Storm? Or is Storm too big? Like, is Storm blocking me?
I mean, I think I just
I
stepped
think I can get
between in the sense of like, so he can't shoot you with his bow, but I'm not like
Yeah.
full body blocking.
I can do some goosenecking.
Yeah, I think you could definitely see each other.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna be like, look in the mirror. And I'm gonna like try to like turn you to look in the mirror.
I look in the mirror.
And as soon as he turns and is not looking at me, I change back into my normal
I
form.
hate
And
this
it's
so
me.
much.
It's Lyra standing next
But
to
can he
Tyler.
see that in the reflection? So he sees
I mean,
Taylor turn into Lyra.
I think
No, the
Tyler's-
mirror's
I
facing in different directions.
Oh.
think Tyler's also just bigger than Lyra too.
Tyler's like looks back at Lyra and sees that it's Lyra, and then like I can only assume thinks he's going insane.
Tyler, you know
Guys,
how...
I think there's something wrong about this house. I'm just gonna say it right now. This house is messed
Tyler.
up. Yeah.
Tyler, okay.
Yeah.
You know how you're like kind of cosmically good at the bow and arrow.
I'm very good at bow and arrow.
Lyra is in the same way you're very good at the bow and arrow. Lyra's very good at performing and disguising herself. You know magic.
Tyler looks at Lyra. Lyra? What would you do something like that to me?
Think about it, Tyler. Do you really think that I would try to trick you like that?
Oh my god.
I mean, she got a good point. She would never.
Storm's gonna message everybody in the room except for Tyler and say, hey guys, he's gonna freak out if we don't, like, we can say Taylor's real, but that Anna disguised herself as as Lyra disguised herself as Taylor.
Don't tell him, don't you dare.
But Taylor can fully be real, just not in this house. Because he's gonna spend the whole time looking for Taylor.
Oh my god.
I mean,
I see no problem with
he
that.
wasn't really being helpful before that, so gives him
If-
something to do.
L-
Keeps him out of our way.
With Luke's permission, can I have a deception versus?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. So deception versus
Lyra.
insight.
Because Lyra's
Yeah.
saying that she's not being.
Man, I fully met Tyler looking in the mirror as a joke. Just as a little joke
18.
kind of character. Just
That's an 18 on the insight.
Okay, I got a 15.
Ah.
Ooh.
To Tyler. I forgot my name. Tyler looks at Lyra and says, all right, I'm on to you. We're playing games now, okay? We're playing games now. I see how it is. Okay. And Tyler kind of turns away and goes back about his business.
Party pooper.
Oh my gosh. So with all that happening,
So we got the books.
Storm, you're not able to find any false drawers or anything like that at the desk. You don't really find anything out of the ordinary. You find a hidden section behind a bookcase that just has like a sack of gold in it, kind of like a hidden like money storage place kind of thing. Kind of like an look you would assume like emergency funds kind of thing, but nothing that seems to be super like out of the ordinary, out of character, or weird.
Does Storm see anything, like, as she's like rifling through the drawers and stuff, anything that jumps out, particularly like names, connections like that, anything that might reference like Twilight as a specific like high magical thing that could maybe be something we can learn and help Gabo with?
No, not really. Don't find anything like that.
Cool.
For the record, won't take that gold because it's a little too obvious.
Yeah. I was gonna say, I was like, don't take it.
Yeah.
We're literally the only people in this house. It's too.
She's not dumb. She's actually very smart.
Storm will put the desk back the way that it was. I mean, like, it's fine if he thinks that I opened up a drawer or whatever. I just don't want it to be a big old mess for him. And then we'll kind of go into the like middle room and look to everybody and be like, well, I mean, we got the books that we need.
We can go.
Yeah, I think we can head on out. While we're in town, do we want to do anything before we head back?
I mean, it wouldn't hurt just handing out some pamphlets.
Yeah, do some pamphlets.
That's true.
Storm is going. What kind of knowledge? This is a very large city, right?
Very large, yes.
So would Storm be able to reasonably deduce that there's probably a little bit of an underground crime situation? Like just like low level.
Yeah,
Storm's
you
got a
could
pound of
probably.
items that she's gotta offload.
Also, I don't think we know how to get back.
I was gonna ask if we got a map.
I don't think we know how to
Storm
get
has
I just
a
wasn't questioning it.
Storm has a map and is also proficient in cartography.
Yeah.
So getting back
Okay.
won't be an issue.
You do actually see in the main room where you are, on the floor suddenly flashes very quickly a purple light, and there is a map of the city that Jobriath forgot to give you before you left.
That was so convenient.
I know, right? Yeah. And if you go to Roll20, this is what it looks like, and I will pull it up
Cool.
for our viewers as well.
Oh, that's so
Ooh.
busy.
Yeah. Storm will pick it up and start studying it. And as she's looking at it, we'll turn to everybody in the party and be like, so, I'm gonna be very honest with all of you right now. Do you remember when we were in the caves with the owlbears?
Mhm.
There were quite a lot of valuable organic compositions in this cave.
Like drugs?
Yeah, cool. We're just gonna be blunt about it. There were a lot of magical mushrooms.
I knew it.
I'm going to sell them.
Gobbo raises his hand. He's like, he's looking at Lyra as he does this. Is like, is
So
this
cute.
how it's
Storm
done?
will immediately call on him. Gobbo, yes.
What are drugs?
They are something for you to discover in roughly out of character goblin age for late teens.
That's a great question. Gobbo will answer in like 5 seconds.
So you know, I almost spit that out.
Lyra's gonna kind of be like, they're what you take to make you feel better. They're medicine. It's just like you get drugs from a pharmacy. Like
Oh, not those kinds of
herbalist.
drugs.
Storm is going to
but
super quick
also-
intervene that.
Oh my God.
Tyler,
That's some
Tyler,
drugs.
Tyler
Some
jumps
drugs.
in and is like, but also, they can get you feeling pretty crazy and fun sometimes. You know, just like the other night at the bar. Remember when we had the alcohol? I mean,
Storm looks at Tyler with the one instruction she gave them before they took this child to the bar.
It is very easy for Dolph to not
I
have
think
any eye contact.
Tyler just
Tyler.
sees in Storm's eyes just some lightning crackle, and he knows she's not gonna do anything in the house. She's not gonna do anything in the town. But when they're doing some training later, she's going to hand his ass to him.
Tyler doesn't even finish the word alcohol there.
Oh.
Medicine, yeah.
It is. It is.
exactly.
Look, Gabo. It is something that is more used for fun for when you are an adult.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Wait,
Discovery for
Why
when
are
you're
you
what
trying?
are you guys talking about?
Oh,
magic mushrooms,
Oh,
Lyra.
Lyra,
They're a
Lyra.
recreational type of drugs, not prescription medication.
But wait.
Take it not for when you don't feel well. Why would you do that? It
Yeah,
makes you
this
feel
would not
funny.
help you cure an ailment. It helps you, I don't know, make trees talk to you that normally
would
can't
you-
talk.
Why would
Point
you do
being, there were a lot, and they're quite valuable. And while we were there, we were still in the midst of like not having a whole bunch of financial stability. So Storm pulls out a pound of the magic mushrooms and says, so I have quite a bit, and personally, I don't want to carry around a pound of magic mushrooms.
I mean,
So
I'll
while
take
we're in a
some.
big old city, Storm links with Dolf and says, I'm fully keeping some of these, don't worry.
Okay.
And while we're in, this large city that we're not like living in, I'm going to try to sell them, offload them a bit, so we don't have to have all of these around. And also we can get some more money.
Would Lyra know of a...
Lyra worked in the circus. You know what drugs are.
I don't know. I don't know.
Lyra, give me a medicine check.
Okay.
Unless you just want to say Lyra doesn't know.
Well, this is happening. Where are we on this
14.
map?
I feel like it would have been one of those things. Like Lyra was very sheltered in her.
So where you are on the map, y'all are kind of closer. You're up in the upper ward area.
Cool.
So number 2 is where you're at.
Kind of center of the city, basically.
Yeah, kind of a bit nicer area. Well, y'all haven't been out, so you actually don't know.
Yeah. Cool. But yeah, so just like wanted to let all of you know,
Cool. Well,
not a big deal. I'm just gonna
As-
sell these. real
as
quick.
we're leaving,
I'm into it.
as we're leaving the city, we can pass out pamphlets. You can do whatever selling you want to do, and start making our way back.
While we're here, I would like to see if they have an artificer. Well, we can ask
Yeah,
around
we can
as we're
ask
giving
around.
out pamphlets.
And Nardo, what who?
An artificer.
Bless you. What?
Oh, do you not know what an artificer is? It is somebody who is able to imbue magic into kind of common items. And they can also make items that don't already exist. They're kind of inventors plus magic.
So like not like a wizard.
It's like a magic blacksmith.
Yeah. Like if you were to combine Jobriath
So like
and...
Joffrey's an artifice?
No, Joffrey's just a blacksmith. If you were to blend Jobriath and Joffrey into one person, it's kind of like a little different, like different type of magic, but kind of like that.
Okay.
But I have some ideas of things that I think would be real cool. And they have the know-how.
Yeah, so we'll ask around. And
I was gonna suggest
See
that
what
we
thing.
check out the Sertusika taverns, but I'm realizing that maybe alcohol is a touchy subject at the moment. So
The responsible grown-ups can go into the taverns. So Tyler, you,
Uh-huh.
myself,
can I take Lyra?
you're not included in the responsible adults who are allowed to go into the tavern. You were the reason that I put responsible adult instead of just adults. You
Okay.
let a child
Well,
drink.
frankly, you don't get to tell me not to go. I'm gonna go if I want to go. So yes, and Tyler kind of puffs his chest up, but is also just a little bit scared of Storm at the same time.
Storm is going
So
to
he's kind of twitching
stand
a little
to her
bit.
full height and just like chest out. Can we do contested intimidation?
ah, God.
Oh Lord.
Sure, go ahead.
Oh, for the love of Lord Quacker.
I'm just like, all right.
Oh!
yeah, well, let's
16 on
go.
the die.
Did you drop your dice?
20. Dirty 20.
That's a 6.
Storm's much scarier than you.
Okay.
So yeah, Storm, you rear up to full height and just like, with the fear of just all of your ancestry behind you, just staring down Tyler. As you stare him down and intimidate him, you also thoroughly intimidate Gabo, who shrinks back actually and starts to hide behind Dolf.
Storm's going to look at him doing that and say, Gabo, you're not in trouble. The adults who were around you were supposed to be there for you, to take care of you and to prevent you from doing things that are harmful for children. And I'm sorry that Tyler exposed you to alcohol at such a young age. You are not in the slightest in trouble.
Okay. I'm just gonna.
Well,
I was also there. We were completely safe.
I was
You
just,
didn't
I
see
was
it
just a
happen,
little
though,
scared
right?
that there was gonna be some fire.
No.
He's gonna like pat his head.
So
Like,
I
Storm shrinks down.
I think we're good to go. And I will start leading Gabo outside the house. I'm just like,
All right.
I'm still patting his head as we're leaving the house. I'm like,
Oh, I love it. Cool. So y'all are
Storm will
now.
walk out of the house last.
Okay.
We'll
Perfect.
Shuffle quietly and awkwardly.
So as y'all walk out of the house outside, you are suddenly struck by the amount of noise and chaos that just comes with the bustling of a massive city. Thousands of people are making their way through the streets, either by walking, riding, utilizing strange vehicles that seem to float above the road a few inches and that move without horse or cow pulling it. You see buildings 10 to 20 stories high, roads that appear to be made out of a single long continuous stone. All of this incredibly foreign to you except for you, Lyra, Lyra, you remember this well. Just the size and the magnitude of this city and just how intense it can feel when you first walk in. All of you are very much taken aback, except for Lyra. Gabo shrinks back even further than he was before behind Dolf. And
I hold his hand.
you all are just totally blown back by how massive this city is. And that's where we'll end it for tonight. Y'all fresh in Sertusica.
It's almost
Ew,
as if
Betty.
we had like a camera pan out as we were exiting a building, and then just the word Sertusica
Yeah.
showed up at the top of the frame.
You have now, your new location is discovered, Sertusica.
Swear that music.
again? Why are you
Yeah.
exploding things with music?
But yes, I am now I'm fully holding Gabo's hand.
Perfect.
I'm still patting him on the head, like shushing him.
Very comforting in his shiny armor. Cute little goblin boy. Who I believe I said was 8 a long time ago. And I was looking at it. Goblins reach maturity at the age of 8. So
Oh.
that's adulthood.
Goblin,
Um,
I mean, Luke, it's your
It's
world.
the
I'm gonna
Minimum.
make it so that they like mature the same rate as humans. Because they still live to 60. So I was like,
Yeah,
Okay.
well,
Yeah.
Yeah, they in my world, in Morlun, goblins mature at the same rate as humans.
Cool.
Gotcha.
And live about as long. So cool. So there's a fun bit of lore for everyone. Goblins are
Yay,
different in my
lore
world.
episode.
Woo.
no.
So yeah. That's the end of the episode. Thank you all for joining. I know there's a couple more announcements. Our next stream, we're gonna shoot for October 6th, first Wednesday. If that changes, I'll post here on our Twitch channel when the next scheduled stream will be. So just be on the lookout for that. Couple thank yous. First off, thank you to Arcane Anthems, who has been providing this music you're listening to now. As well as the music that is in our starting soon and we will be right quack screen. Fantastic. Go visit him on Patreon. He provides free music for your streams. Great stuff. Fantastic things. Does a lot of very clever and funny covers of songs that make it related to D&D. So yeah, just Arcane Anthems, both on TikTok and Patreon. Go check them out. Thank you to Luke for providing the graphics, such as the GIFs or GIFs you see at the We Will Be Right Quack and Starting Soon screen. And thank you to AJ here for providing the screen you see here, the signs where all of our names and character names are here. So, yeah.
I also want to give a thank you to Gem Songs RS and I Like Turtles for the subscriptions.
Yes.
Also, Deanna for giving that gifted sub to, I don't know.
I don't know. Yeah. Thank you so much, y'all. Really means a lot. And yeah. I believe that's all of it on my end. If I'm forgetting anything, I apologize. Anyone else have announcements before AJ does his?
Yeah, before the spiel.
Mine isn't that long anymore.
I'll always take a Twitch follow. Sorry, a Twitch follow. If you guys are, I'm trying to do more twitching. I'll probably try to do more than 2 this month. So I'm really working my way up there.
I really love your Name Those songs.
What was that?
I really love the Name That song. I have a lot of fun with that.
I should do a couple more of those. So yeah, you can follow me on Twitch, or I'll throw my @chat. It's the same on everything on Instagram and TikTok too. So that's me.
Nice. Cool. All right, AJ, take it away.
Hi, I'm AJ, also known as Husha Kid. You can find me on the 3 T's of social media, Twitch, Twitter, and TikTok as Husha_kid. Most things are pretty much quiet for me these days. So you can check out the Roll20 sponsored show that I was on. You can catch up to, we finished our season. You can catch up on that on their YouTube at Critical Misses on YouTube. Just catch up with everything that has happened to the Kingsguard. Yeah, because we're gonna come back and we're in the middle of the Feywilds. It's gonna be a crazy time. I became a king of the fairies after confessing my love to someone and saving them from death. You can catch me tentatively on Tuesday, 7 p.m. EST. It is time for the best esports team you have ever seen. Along with my teammates Milan and D, we go through all the games, all wins every day, no losses. Do not check the VOD, because like I said, we win. You can catch that on my stream, Husha_kid. Yeah, I'm also a voice actor, transcriber, and video editor. So if you want to hire me for stuff or want to commission me to do some stuff, hit me up on Twitter, Husha_kid. I'll most likely respond on there. So yeah, I think that is it for me. Yeah, I mean, you might see some TikToks of me soon at Gen Con, because I'm going to Gen Con next week. So catch you there. If you're going to Gen Con, I'll see you there.
Nice. Wonderful. Thank you, AJ. Always wonderful to hear your announcements. Always entertaining. So yeah, last things. Thank you, Arg. I don't know. Fantastic. Such kind words. That does mean so much to me, and I'm sure it means a lot to the players here. Very nice having you join us today. Thank you. And also, yes, follow Misty Mountain Memes, our fan meme page on Instagram. They post hilarious content. If you've enjoyed this session, be sure to be on the lookout for what they're posting. It's all going to be a bunch of great memes. I hope today, I think this session had a lot of meme-worthy content. So, yeah. Thank you, chat. As a whole, you're all fantastic. Thanks for hanging with us and vibing with us. Hope you all have a fantastic night. And we'll see you next month. Bye!